Well. Assalamu alaikum and peace. Welcome back again to Black Muslim in America. I'm back again real quick. I know I've been away a while, so I'm dropping a few videos, my thoughts on things as I have time to. And this is something that really caught my attention. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Share the link with your friends and family and all that good stuff. But white supremacy thinks they slick. And the new thing they're trying to do now with all this technology going on, what they're trying to do now is use computers and algorithms to be racist, to carry out white supremacy. And they do this so that they can then say, well, it's not our fault. It's the system. The system messed it up, so it's not really us being racist. It was just a mistake in the system. These things do happen. Hee. This is where they're progressing to. And it's a great book out there called Avoid the Machines. I forget who the author is. I think it's like something Vasquez. Look that up. Look that book up. Read that book. I read that book. It's a very telling book. It's a fictional book, but it's very telling of where we are headed in these, technological advancing times. And what caught my attention is this first story by the Tampa Bay Times. When did it come out here? It came out on July 24th. And I'm going to put the link in the description so you can read it yourself. But I'm just going to give you a little synopsis. But basically, the title says, Pasco Sheriff's Office letter targets residents for increased accountability. Critics of the agency's intelligence programs call the letter patronizing and offensive and raise continued concerns about civil rights. When they talk about civil rights, all that means is they're targeting Negroes. And basically, it's these police people sent out a letter. Excuse me, sorry, mic drop. These police people basically sent out a letter to people that they assumed were either criminals or going to be future criminals. And they said, okay, the letter says, we are pleased to inform you that you have been selected, the letter says. But the 4-page letter from the Pasco Sheriff's Office goes on to tell recipients that they will be facing enhanced police scrutiny under the agency's controversial intelligence program. You may wonder why you were being enrolled, the letter continues. You were selected as a result of an evaluation of your recent criminal behavior using an unbiased, quote unquote, using an unbiased, evidence-based risk assessment design to identify prolific offenders in our community. As a result of this designation, we will go to great efforts to encourage change in your life through enhanced support and increased accountability. You hear that? All that poppycock, all those jumbled up words to basically say, nigga, we think you're going to do some more crimes and we're going to be watching you with more scrutiny and we're going to be on your ass, basically. It goes on to say, last year, a Tampa Bay Times investigation revealed that the sheriff's office creates lists of people it considers likely to break the law based on criminal histories, social networks, and other unspecified intelligence. Now, notice what it says, criminal histories and social networks. This is why all you Negroes out there talking all that rah-rah online, you need to stop that. All you Negroes out there posting your weapons on IG and trying to look thuggish, ruggish bone, you need to stop that. That's stupid. You're just setting yourself up for these white supremacists to target you. And then they're saying other unspecified intelligence. What are they tracking? These people are tracking you heavily. So this is some type of computer algorithm that's creating a database list of people it considers likely to break the law. The agency sends deputies to their homes repeatedly, often without a search warrant or probable cause for an arrest. So once they create these lists, they send police to your house to basically come harass you. Targets and their relatives, including 4 who are now suing the sheriff's office in federal court, describe the tactics as harassment and a violation of their constitutional rights. It is. National policing experts drew comparisons to child abuse and surveillance that could be expected under an authoritarian regime. The Times also found that the agency has a separate program. See, this is what they not telling you behind the scenes. A separate program that uses school children's grades, attendance records, and abuse histories to label them potential future criminals. Who you think they using it on? They ain't using it on the white kids. They ain't using it on little Timmy and Cody, who be cussing out their mama, and our potential Scooter the shooters. They're not doing that. They're doing it for the black kids. So they tell you one thing that they're doing, but then behind the scenes they're doing the other. So even the little black kids in school who getting bad grades because the teacher's a horrible teacher and she don't give a damn about the students, they mama got to work, they a single mama, well, that's not good. That was, she should have made better decisions. But now these little kids are being targeted. These little black kids are being targeted for having issues in their grades. And this is another reason why our youngsters got to be on point in school. But even then, white supremacy will come up with another way, somehow, some way to try to target us. But this is even more reason why we need to be on point in our schooling systems and having strong families, because they're using any and everything to put us down on these lists for future criminals. Your attendance records, your school grades, abuse histories. So they're going into all of this. This is nothing but some Minority Report movie becoming real life. That's all it is. If you remember that movie Minority Report with what's that white boy name? I don't know his name, but look up the movie Minority Report. Basically, they were going into the future and looking at people's minds and stuff to figure out what crimes they were going to commit in the future, and they pre-arrested them for crimes they would commit. This is basically nothing but that coming to life. How do you do that? Earlier this year, Sheriff Chris Noko and the Pasco County School District announced they would scale back some features of the school data program, but the letter signals a broadening of the core program. So basically, they tell you one thing and then they do another thing. And the sheriff's office said the letter is part of a new intelligence effort aimed specifically at people, black people, let's be real, aimed specifically at people whose criminals' history include drug offenses and violent crimes. Wow. See, what's happening is black people, you still got crime going on. Of course, there's always going to be crime. But black people in general are committing less crime. They trying to stay off these streets. And they trying to stay out the prisons, and we trying to get on code. So now what's happening is they have to create crime. They have to create criminals. Somehow, some way, they have to create a crime, create criminals, because we got to keep filling these jails up with niggas. How are we going to keep filling these jails up with niggas if they're stopping to do so much crime? I mean, we can get a few here and there, but damn, they're not even doing it like they used to. Remember when we put crack in the hoods? Remember that? Remember when we put crack in the hoods? Oh man, those were swell times. We were locking up niggers every other day. See, black people done got hip to what's going on and we not falling for it. And now they're like, okay, now we got to come up with another way to get you. But this is what I mean by avoid the machines. They're using their algorithms and their computers as an excuse for their white supremacy. They're making the machines into white supremacists. A machine is something a computer and a machine is programmed by a human. So whatever that human wants to put into that machine is going to come out of that machine. So if you have a white supremacist controlling these machines, then that's what's going to be the outcome of it. But they're going to try to be slick and say, well, it was a mistake of the machine, of the computer. But that's something I just wanted to put on your mind. That's one article I looked at and really piqued my interest. You can go ahead and read that whole article. It's a very long article. I'm not going to, read the whole thing. Just give you a gist of it so you can see what's going on. But then there was another article that came out today, July 26th. I really don't like dating the programs, but it's another article that came out today from Vice. And we know all about Vice. But the title says, police are telling ShotSpotter to alter evidence from gunshot, detecting to alter evidence from gunshot detecting AI. That shot spotter thing is something that's in all, well, not all, but in hoods of America. They put that basically in black neighborhoods. You don't got those things in white neighborhoods. A shot spotter thing is that it's these like microphones all around that if it hears a gunshot, it could spot where that shot came from. It can pinpoint it, what type of sound it was. Was it a gunshot? Was it a firework? Was it blah, blah, blah? And then they can pinpoint it and send police to that area or use it as evidence in court. But once again, my people, avoid the machines, because this is happening in Chicago too. Prosecutors in Chicago are being forced to withdraw evidence generated by the technology, which led to the police killing of 13-year-old Adam Toledo earlier this year. But, okay, so they go back into this whole background story, talking about another case. On May 31st last year, 25-year-old Safarine Herring was shot in the head and dropped off at St. Bernard Hospital in Chicago by a man named Michael Williams. He died 2 days later. Chicago police eventually arrested the 64-year-old Williams and charged him with murder. Williams maintains that Herring was hit in a drive-by shooting. A key piece of evidence in the case is video surveillance footage showing Williams' car stopped on the 6300 block of South Stony Island Avenue at 11:46 p.m. The time and location where police say they know Herring was shot. They quote unquote know. And how did they know that's where the shooting happened? Police said because of ShotSpotter. Once again, the machine. Avoid the machines, people. A surveillance system that uses hidden microphone sensors to detect the sound and location of gunshots generated an alert for that time and place. But this is where it gets deep, y'all. The article goes on to say, except that's not entirely true, according to recent court filings. That night, 19 ShotSpotter sensors detected a percussive sound at 11:46 p.m. and determined that the location to be 5700 South Lakeshore Drive, a mile away from the site where prosecutors say Williams committed the murder. According to a motion filed by Williams' public defender, oh God, he got a public defender. People, we got to get our money up so we can have, better defenders of our rights, man. But it is what it is. The company's algorithms initially classified the sound as a firework. That weekend had seen widespread protests in Chicago in response to George Floyd's murder, and some of those protesting lit fireworks. But after the 11:46 p.m. alert came in, a ShotSpotter analyst manually overrode the algorithms and quote unquote reclassified the sound as a gunshot. Then, months later and after post-processing, another ShotSpotter analyst changed the alert coordinates to a location on South Stony Island Drive near where Williams' car was seen on camera. White supremacy. These mofos are going into the system and changing up evidence, altering evidence just to convict a nigga and put him in jail. The dude is telling you, man, I wasn't there. I was helping the boy out. He was hitting a drive-by. He's telling you that, and then you got the evidence to show that, well, yeah, that's probably true. But you manually go in just to convict this person. You change the evidence around. That's called evidence tampering. So now they had to drop these ShotSpotter evidence. They dropped them from the case. And the article goes on to say, through this human-involved method, the ShotSpotter output in this case was dramatically transformed from data that did not support criminal charges of any kind to data that now forms the centerpiece of the prosecution's murder case against Mr. Williams. Wow. And so this article goes on to tell you how basically there is a pattern of alterations all across the country of them doing this type of thing. One happened in 2016 in Rochester, New York. They went in and changed stuff. They said it was the sound was actually like helicopter propeller blades, but they changed it to being 4 gunshots. People, be careful out here. These people are going in and changing evidence to convict black people and put them in prison, or whoever they want to convict. Avoid the machines. You know, I just wanted to put that on your mind, something to really reflect on and think about, because this is where white supremacy wants to head to. Now that the robots, the artificial intelligence, the computers, the machines will carry out their white supremacy for them, and then they can blame the machines, and you know, it was their fault, not our fault. That's how they're going to get away with it now, because black people ain't really trying to commit crimes like that no more. So they have to figure out a way to generate crime or create criminals so that they can keep filling up these jail cells. But that's all I wanted to say, people. Stay tuned. Keep listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for listening. This is Black Muslim in America. Your host, Bilal Abdullah Mujahid, signing out. Assalamu alaikum and peace.